Hello my crafty friends. Welcome to my channel, Paper Happinessity with Monica. My name is Monica Formosa and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the White Bay area of Queensland in Australia, East Coast. Today I am sharing with you a project created for Colour Inspiration Challenge number 198. We are a Facebook group. And there's quite a few on the design team, and we get to create with a set color palette every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, and it runs for roughly 12 days, I think it is. And for this particular one, it will run from Wednesday the 22nd of October through to Monday the 10th of November. This is our colour palette for this challenge, very Christmassy. I was hoping to do something Christmassy, but my products haven't arrived. Well, what happened is they were ordered, but I didn't get all my order, so what I wanted to use is on its way. But that's fine. I have decided on something else. And I will say that this particular project that I'm doing was inspired by the amazing Verity Purse Glove from the UK. Stampin' with Inky Butterfly is possibly her YouTube handle if you want to go and check her out. I will link the card that I'm talking about in the description box below. Also in the description box below will be all the details should you be inspired by what I create today. The details will be on how you can also participate will be in the description box, along with all the products. So the products that I've used today are available from Stampin' Up through me as your demonstrator. So if you're interested in purchasing anything, there are links, either to one link to my store, or there'll be a list of all the products linked down below as well. What else do I need to tell you? I'm not really sure, but anyway, I will get on with doing my card for you. First of all, I'll show you the products that I'm using. Now, Stampin' Up are in the process of rolling into these new cases, sleeves, they're like plastic sleeves. Now, previously they came in these cases, like the old CD cases, and you had your stamps, photopolymer, or it came with red rubber stamps. They're also rolling, discontinuing the red rubber, and moving totally into photopolymer. The reason for that is that red rubber is becoming increasingly difficult to source, and it's also becoming more expensive to create or manufacture stamps with. All right, so this is how our stamp sets and embossing not embossing, our dies are now coming out. You get an image of the stamp set on the front, and the sleeves are actually quite a lot larger than what the cases were. But you know, depending on how you have your craft room sorted, or your craft area sorted, you know, you'll need to find the best storage system for you for your particular area. Okay, so for this particular card, I'm using the new Petals of Beauty. Now, this is an online exclusive that will come out next month, early next month, in November. Can't believe it's November next month. That's just crazy. But anyway, Petals of Beauty, which is a beautiful floral, has beautiful floral and foliage images with We've been desperately wanting something new in the floral stamp set, in a floral images. So I'm so pleased that they've come out with this one. The coordinating dies. So you get the dies that will cut out. This is a two-step stamp set. You can layer these two images together, and then these two, and then these two come together. I think these are possibly standalone, but you can also layer these. This image here, I think, could be used in the flower centers. So it's quite a verse, and I love that there's no, it's just images and there's no sentiments. Sometimes, you know, not everyone likes that, but depend on your style of crafting. But yeah, I particularly like this. It does come in the suite. It will come with a coordinating sentiment stamp set. So don't think that that's all you get in, because there's a whole product suite around this. The dies, the coordinating dies, it has dies that will cut out the images along with some other standalone detailed dies that we can use, which we are going to use. This is a new one. It's a large background stamp, lasting linen. It has, I'm not sure whether the camera will pick that up, but it has this gorgeous linen image that gives you the illusion of texture in your background. And the Gallery Blooms dies, I'm using the frame, which is what Verity used in her card. Okay, so I will pull my card in and I will show you what I've created. Right, so we're on a very vanilla card base, which was one of the colors in the very vanilla. We've got very vanilla card base. I've stamped the large background stamp very vanilla and stamped it with basic beige. We are allowed we are allowed to use black and white and our basic beige and metallics, and also the natural tones in the Stampin Blends, just so you are aware. But anyway, I've used the very vanilla in the smaller frame. So with this frame, you get to cut a larger frame and a smaller one, and then this panel in here, like a label, or it gives you a third smaller piece that you can use for whatever you'd like to. I like to keep the pieces that I don't use, I put in with my die set, and that way if I come to use it again, you never know, you might just have the color you're looking for. Okay, so I've used a larger flower. Where's my stamp set here? I've used the larger flower and the smaller flower, but I've only used the detailed stamps. I've used this trio. Excuse me, I'm not sure whether I'm actually filming this at night, which is not my usual mode of operation, so I'm hoping that the lights are playing fair. So yes, this trio of flowers here, and then the standalone pieces, which is what I mentioned before, linen thread as a little bit of embellishment, along with the I don't even know what these are called, antique pearls. I absolutely love these because they have a flatter profile, and just mind my fingers because this is left over from earlier. They have a flatter profile, which might save you a little bit of postage. Just saying, because sometimes embellishments can prevent our mail from going through the machines, and having a lower profile like these are a lot flatter can sometimes help in keeping the costs down. Yeah, so let's get on with creating. I have done a little bit of prep beforehand just to try and cut down a little bit of time, but I have been waffling on a little bit tonight. Okay, so our bits and pieces. I have a card base. So this is my card base. You make your card base however whatever size is your go-to. What I really love about this is that this is actually made for our card size. It doesn't often happen that way. We have such a small market here in the South Pacific and in Europe, and it's lovely to see that Stampin' Up have created a frame that will fit our card side bases, because our card bases are a little bit narrower and longer than the size in the US and the North American market. Okay, so we're doing that. Card base. We have a piece of Very Vanilla that I'm going to stamp my background on. I have my frame pieces. I've only got 2 here, but we're going to use the smaller one. So we're going to do that. There's a mark on there, but we'll be able to get rid of that, hopefully. And I'll put that in with my die so I know where that is later. I have got one of the pieces of foliage here that's been cut with Coastal Cabana ink, and I've very, very gently gone around the edges and ink blended a little bit of little bit of Coastal Cabana ink on there just to give it a little bit extra dimension. Piece of Very Vanilla here. Now this is part of the dies that coordinate with that stamp set. I've cut the trio of flowers and die cut them because they come with their coordinating die. I have 2 real red flowers, a large one and a small one. And I've only done the detail. I haven't done the background on that one. And I think that's it, guys. Yep. Oh, that's that piece that goes in the middle of that frame. So I'll keep that for later. Right. So the first thing we need to do is create our background, and I've gone and put this onto the really large. What number is this? Letter is this? F block. So this is the large F block. If you have a stamp positioner, please feel free to use that. But because this is so large, and because this is only a background stamp, what I'm going to do is, let me get my inks. Basic Beige, and I'm going to apply my stamp pad onto my stamp. And because it's Basic Beige, you really aren't going to notice it because it's such a pale colour. And I'm going to just drop this and gently pick up the ink. Now, it doesn't really matter that it doesn't have to be perfect, is what I'm trying to say, because it's the background and I don't need it to be exact. And we are going to trim this down. So let me get my trimmer. Now, my card base is normally 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. And what I want to do is actually take it down so it's 1/2 inch smaller on two sides, which makes it 5 1/4 long on the long edge, and 3 5/8, 3 1/2, which is 4/8, 3 5/8, which takes me down 1/2 inch on two sides. I'll just show you. All right, so we've gone down 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and we'll glue that on like so. Get my liquid glue. The Tombow liquid glue is my preferred adhesive, but you know, we all have our own preferences. We don't all like to craft the same way, and that is fine. All right, so equal border around all four sides, and there's our background. The next thing I want to do is get this smaller frame, and there's a bit of a mark on there. I'll try and get that off. Yes, I don't know what it was, but anyway, it's gone now. And we'll add some dimensionals. If you are going to post this, you are more than welcome to glue this directly, because like I said earlier, a little bit of dimension and a little bit of bling can mess with postage costs, unfortunately. Okay, we will just take them off. And I'm also going to add a little bit of liquid glue, because that will give me a little bit of wriggle time to get it where I need it to go. Perfectly placed, as they say. Not that there's any such thing as a perfect handmade card. As my lovely friend Janice will say, perfectly imperfect. And that's exactly how I see life as a card maker. All right, so we're going to put this here, pull it over just a tad. Hope we got that straight. Oops. I think so. Good enough. I'm just eyeballing that. If you had a T-square, you could use your T-square and get that wherever you need it to go. Okay, so placement. What I thought I would do is just put this into here, add this on top, and then add the two flowers and the little trio down here like this. So that's fairly easy. I'm going to add a little bit of glue along the stem, and maybe on this top one, which is the other one, that maybe this one here. All right, so I've added and I've gone from the corner, oops, from the corner and and I've just smudged that because I put too much glue there. So we've done that. The next thing I'm going to do is to, no, actually, yes, we're going to add a little bit of glue to this side. But then I want to add dimensionals on this side. And I've only added dimensionals under these two leaves. And then that way, because everything under there really doesn't need to be lifted. And we're going to bring this over so that we've got a little bit of overhang happening. Okay, right, okay, flowers. Now to give, there's a little bit of texturing happening here, so I like to just put hold my image finger and thumb in the center, and then just use my other finger and thumb on the opposite hand and just pull it through gently. You need to go really gently and either use a glue dot or some glue in this section here where it's a little bit lower. And we're going to add this this way, I think. Oh, it doesn't really. I need to just leave a little bit of blue poking out there. It's not quite the same as the other one, but that's okay. Just hold that for a little while just so that the glue takes hold. Again, the same with this one. I'm going to hold in the center with my finger and thumb on one hand, and then pull those petals through on the other one with the other finger and thumb. Where it is a little bit lower, we're going to just tuck this in under here. Like so. Hold that there for a little while. And this one, I'm just going to add glue. 1, 2. And we will tuck this bit in under here. Not quite the same, but close. Okay. Let's get some of these lovely flat pearls. Antique pearls they are. Now I've used a bigger one in the larger flower. Matches that vanilla and beige really well. And then a smaller one. There we go, just a couple of embellishments. And I haven't put a sentiment on this because sometimes I like my cards not to have a sentiment. So some linen thread, but you could easily add a sentiment if you have an occasion. All right, so I've done a double bow here, which is fairly easy. All you need to do is to take a length of linen thread and fold it in half, and then with both strands you're going to just tie a bow as you normally would. We're using both together at the same time. All right, just remembering that this is a tail, and this is also a tail. Okay, could have been a bit bigger. I think I might make that a bit bigger. Oh, make it a bit longer. So you can see me watch me doing it again. So a piece, and you double it over, fold it in half. And I don't cut when I'm tying a bow. I don't cut my my ribbon or my thread off, my linen thread. There, that's a bit better. All right, so we're going to pull, no, I need to pull this one because that's kind of good there. That's good there. And we're going to trim these off. So make sure this is your tail, and this is your other tail, and these are your two loops. And if you're not sure, all you need to do is just pull, just very, very gently, and that will let you know whether you've got whether you're cutting the right ones or not. And I'm going to get a couple of glue dots. One. I like to use two, just to make sure it's going to stay there. And we're going to just put that in that little section there. If you wanted to, you could add a few more pearls. This is going to bug me because it's curly. Let's see if I can straighten that a little bit. It's just a matter of running it through your two fingernails, or your finger and a fingernail. There we go. All right, so that's it. I haven't actually decorated the inside, but you know, you could easily stamp. I might have actually. I've got this one left over. Have I got a piece of vanilla? Have I got time, guys, to where's my packet of vanilla? I've got scraps here somewhere. Vanilla. All right, I think this is cut as a card base, but that's fine. I'm gonna go, let's cut this here and turn it around. I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch this time, less. So that's at 5.5. And I will go down to 3 7/8. Just make sure that's all neat and tidy. And you know what I might do, I might ink this up again, just in a corner somewhere. And we will, how am I going to do this? Don't know what this is going to look like, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So we've got this little bit of texture there happening, and I need to get my bone folder and just smooth out those edges, because that's all right. So we've got that going on, and we've got that there. Have I got, oh, I've got a spare blue one, the trio, little trio. There we go. We can add that in. Looks good. Lucky I had those pieces left over. Because I like to stamp and die cut and then pick the best ones. I'm not quite sure how I had that now. Oops, stay. There we go. So we've got all that going on. And glue. Just a little bit fancy. There we go. You have your card. I think that's... There's a little bit of a fuzzy edge there that I'm not happy about. I think either my track needs cleaning out or I need a new blade. And it's probably a little bit of both. But anyway, there we go. There's our card, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do share this with your friends if you think they might be inspired by what I've created. And leave a comment, guys. If you're new to my channel, please do say hello. I've had lots of new people join me recently, so that's lovely. Thank you so much. And if you're a regular viewer, I also appreciate you coming in and giving your time to watching what I create. All right, so there's the outside, and then there's what I've created on the inside. All right, guys, that's it from me. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.